Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Room Number 9. Last time I left you guys off right as I picked choice number 3 from the first time we were ever actually able to choose which task we would do. And task 3 involved strangling and Daichi, being able to have some fun. So I chose that one over the other ones because the other one involved Seiji wearing a dress. No, not a dress. Some lingerie. And I didn't like that. And they didn't even let us choose the first option, which was let Daichi get cut open a bit. So, yeah, we can get right into it. Except also, whenever you start up this game, it always starts up with like a sound that the characters are making or a word that they're saying. And today it opened up with Daichi sneezing, and it's just, I didn't like it. I don't know if I really like that feature of them always saying hello to me or sneezing on me when the game opens, maybe coughing on me when the game opens. I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah. I think the scene is going to start pretty soon into this episode. So you know where to go if you want to see it. I plopped back down as my mostly undigested dinner splattered onto the floor. Great, thanks. Can't wait to sleep beside your puke. I doubled over and puked my guts out. I couldn't think of anything at all, as the disgusting scent of my vomit stung my nose. I stared down at the filthy mess.
Oi.
Yeah, what's up? You alright there, pal? I became aware of Seiji's voice. Huh? Was he talking to me? I looked up. Seiji was looking down at me from the bed. Are his arms still bound? The foul taste was acidic in my mouth as I spoke. Seiji nodded.
Huh.
Stop trying to act like you have it all together, little sub. His face looked fine, but there were marks on his neck from my hands. No, I kinda like you better with those on. He raised his bound hands behind his back, making me remember what was going on. Right, I had to get those off of him. I stumbled to my feet and got on my knees on the bed to undo Seiji's handcuffs. My fingers were still cold. I had a hard time manipulating the cuffs, but I managed eventually. Turn this stuff in. Let me go turn in my condom. Do I get an A on this test? He had a vacant look in his eyes. And shouldn't Seiji be the first one to shower? But fine, whatever. He had a vacant look in his eyes as he spoke, rubbing his wrists. Then he brought a hand to his shoulder to stretch it. It must have hurt. I worried that he might have dislocated his shoulder or something. I was trembling, but I couldn't help but feel that it was only fair that I be the one to clean up. I was the one who puked, right? He gestured with his chin. All I could do was nod in response. I just smell like a man, okay, Seiji? Can't we just call in some cleaning lady? Clean up the puke? I took off my puke-stained tank top and wiped my mouth and feet with it. So you did get some of the puke on your feet? Seiji had left the tray they'd given us next to the bed. The lube and handcuffs were already on it, so I tossed my shirt on with them and brought it to the exchange chamber. I felt like I was forgetting something when I remembered I had to turn in the condom. The condom was still hanging onto my dick, now small and drooping. It was full of viscous, white liquid. I still had puke on me, so I took it off carefully, trying my best not to touch it, and tied it off with my mouth. Wait, what? Tied it off? What? But I still had puke on me, so I took it off carefully, trying my best not to touch it, and tied it off with your mouth. So you put the end of the condom in your mouth and tied it like that. If you want to taste your own babies, just do it. Don't come up with this weird reasoning. Like, what? I couldn't help but look at how much was in there. I'm a real big man, aren't I? It looked like a lot. I guess I was really turned on by that. I know, and you're like letting it out every night too, so it's not like you're really saving up a lot. I tossed the tray into the exchange chamber and stumbled back into the room. I saw Seiji changing the sheets as I made my way into the bedroom. Hot water poured over my head. We should just be showering together. It's so weird that we don't. It was so hot it almost felt... It almost felt like it might scald me. I rinsed the awful flavor from my mouth and the filth from my body. So why? I bashed my head into the wall. What was happening to me? I wished that the hot water could erase my recent memories. I wanted to forget the feeling of his neck. It wouldn't leave my hands. It was still so vivid. I couldn't get it out of my mind. I couldn't forget the intense pleasure when I climaxed either. I can't believe I did that. I must be... I scrubbed myself so hard I almost peeled my skin off. When I finally left the bathroom, I was surprised by what I found. The carpet in the area where I'd thrown up had been torn off the floor and left in the exchange chamber. What? He took his, his knife and just cut out a section of the carpet? Little bit of an overreaction, son. In fact, what if they considered that destroying the room and they penalized us? I hadn't realized that the room had carpet tiles until then. Oh wait, carpet tiles? What? I don't know what that is. What? Like tiles of carpet? I guess. I don't know. I hated feeling that they'd ever even predicted this could happen and prepared for it. Seiji had finished changing the sheets already, and had mopped up most of the smell and filth, and sprayed so much deodorizer spray that the floor had changed colors. Once he was convinced the smell had been sufficiently covered, he set the spray on the floor next to the bed, just in case it needed another coat. The bed just needed to be made and everything would be pretty much back to normal. After we finished making the bed, Seiji turned his back to me.
Nah.
Can we cuddle to sleep tonight? He stopped in his tracks.
俺な、お前が嫌だから吐いたわけじゃなくて。
No, I didn't puke because I was grossed out or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. I was actually really, really turned on by you. You were actually really hot. I love choking you. Can we do that again sometime? Like, even after we get out of here? He didn't respond. He just stood there in silence.
お前が死んでたかもって思ったら、なんか気持ち悪くなって。分かってる。
His tone was so gentle and his face was as calm as it always was.
俺も悪かった。あんなこと、お前にやらせるべきじゃなかった。
Well, Daichi's the one who chose this task, right? No, you're wrong, Seiji. I shook my head furiously. But then again, Seiji did recommend this task. We didn't have a choice. I should have been able to perform better. Either way, we'd gotten it done. That was all that really mattered. This would all be over in 4 days. Just 4 more days. Wait, 4? I thought we have like 72 points with the completion of this task. Wouldn't that be 3 days? I guess technically we might be here another day, kind of, but we wouldn't have to do anything.
もう寝ろ。
He disappeared into the bathroom. I put on my sweatpants and crawled into bed, but I didn't feel any better about the situation. 8th day. Yeah, see, we have 72 points, just like I said. That's like 3 days, really. The laundry we put on out yesterday was returned with our regularly scheduled breakfast. The squared carpet I'd puked on was back as well. If we hadn't been trapped in this awful place, This would have been about the point in our summer vacation when we'd be trying to get back onto a more normal schedule. I didn't have to get up for work until evening, so I usually slept in pretty late. Seiji probably didn't do things like that. Even in that awful place, he'd always got up early. I watched him as he replaced a missing section of carpet. Once it was in place, you couldn't really tell that anything had happened to it. My thoughts shifted to wondering what our next task would be. The scars being left on us by this experience were all internal. Regardless of the context, Seiji and I had already had sex, so I doubted we could go back to just being friends. Why not? Just... straight people. So what were they going to do? What were they going to force us to do now? It's like, you can still be friends. I don't understand what the issue is. I mean, obviously, you won't go back to being friends because you're clearly in love with each other, but, like, if you wanted to, you could. Task 2 is a repeat, but the cross-dressing option had vanished. I guess we couldn't pick that one anymore. So we lost the opportunity to do the cross-dressing? I'm not sad about it. So anyway, what our new task is, subject B must wear the specified apparatuses until loss of consciousness. So, I mean, that doesn't even guarantee anyone feels any bit of pleasure. Or has to. Like the tasks for Seiji usually do. It usually says that either Daichi has to feel good or Seiji has to feel good. So, weird.
失神
What kind of apparatuses? My eyes went wide as I read the new conditions. My movements mimic Seiji as I traced the lines over with my finger, branding their meaning into my mind. The premise was that he was supposed to pass out from pleasure, but we could fulfill the requirements by putting all the toys on him and... on him? In him? I guess in and on. And choking him to unconsciousness. If I just left him alone with all that on him, he'd probably pass out in an hour or two. I didn't want to lay a hand on him if I didn't have to, but was that really the right approach? I mean, is that easy to do? I mean, does falling asleep count as losing consciousness? Because, I mean, you do lose consciousness when you fall asleep. So if you just fell asleep while wearing everything, while wearing all the necessary items, would that count? Because, I mean, yeah, lose consciousness. It doesn't say you have to pass out, just lose consciousness. So falling asleep or passing out seems equally acceptable. I mean, just falling asleep with everything on, that doesn't sound impossible. It sounds kind of hard, but not impossible. Seiji hesitantly pointed at the second option.
俺がやる方でもいい。
Wow, you're a martyr for us all. Was he thinking about what we did yesterday? About how we definitely made the wrong choice? Do you think I wouldn't be able to perform anymore? Was he concerned that he was forcing me to be the aggressor each... Oh, wait, no, wait, he said the second choice. Am I being stupid? Wait, hesitantly pointed this... I don't mind having to do it this time. Oh, by having to do it, he means... He doesn't mind having to hurt Daichi, because that's the hard part. Being the one that hurts the other person, that's the hard part. Not getting hurt. Just ridiculous, like, mentality they've concocted in this room. Like, the mentality they have over these tasks and what makes them difficult, like, it's completely backwards. And it's illogical, it's ridiculous, it's crazy. Anyway, so he's actually saying, let's cut you up a little bit, Daichi. And, no. I won't allow it. I won't allow it. My heart settled on the last one, and I sent him a silent thought of thanks. Oh wait, but so now Daichi is like thinking that did he think I wouldn't be able to perform anymore? Just because I puked, you think I can't make you feel good anymore? We're losing our Dom cred because we puked. Great. Now he doesn't want us anymore. Alright.
どっちがいいと思う？
Best for the both of us. Which choice do you think will let us stay as much of ourselves as possible? Okay, you see, you're not becoming anyone else. You're becoming the you always were too afraid to be. Even if it wasn't possible for us to get out of this unscathed, which would give us even a slightly better chance? Seiji cast his eyes down to think, and I found myself distracted by the thought that just last night I'd been with him. I couldn't even let myself process it emotionally. I just had to accept it as blandly as possible. Huh, I guess that happened. I guess I had the best night of my life last night. I guess that happened. Even if he was standing right there, not saying a word, closing his eyes and letting out sighs.
わからない。
俺も。
Which was the better choice? Would it make any difference? Hurt me for all I care, it doesn't matter to me. Oh, do I get to choose? Okay, I just like came to this screen and was like, hey, you want to choose this task? I wasn't sure. Use toys on Seiji, have Seiji make the incision. Wow, we actually have a choice between hurting Daichi for once
セーブする。
and pleasuring Seiji. But I think that is actually where I might end this video today. I'm not sure which I'll choose, so maybe that will be exciting for the next episode, because you can wonder which I shall choose. So thank you guys for watching, and next time when we come back, I don't even know which one I'll choose yet. I'll decide next video. But next time when we come back, we'll choose which option we're gonna do. And yeah. So, bye guys.